relationship and it gets like tricky, you know, like it's a mess. Like, y'all not in a relationship, so it's like I don't have to do all of these things for you because we're not one. However, we are dating, but then that's when a problem comes in. You know, like
one of my female friends asked me this literally like a few weeks ago. She was like, "Hey, Q, how long do you think you could be dating a girl where like the guy starts like paying a bill or two?" And I was like, "Well, like y'all live together or something?" She's like, "No, like y'all just dating." I'm like, well, why don't you just live together then? Like, well, why we gotta live together? It's just like debate a bit. I'm like, well, I'm confused at why he would be paying a bill if y'all just dating for a while, whatever it is. Now, if he move in and you move it to his place, all right, cool. Y'all can reestablish the new rhythm of the overhead, whatever. But for him to just take over a bill and y'all still separate entities, literally, I don't really get that. And she was looking at me like I was crazy. Like, well, I mean, a man can't. I'm like, well, okay, now you're trying to make it a whole thing where men provide. I'm like, all I said was y'all could just live together and then y'all could establish it. To me, that's kind of when it only really makes sense to ever be discussing bills if we in the same fucking roof. But if it ain't that, then you got your bill still. Like, what are we talking about? Like, then if I'm courting you, cool, if it's a vacation or a date or your birthday, that's just regular shit, whatever.
I just think that as an entitlement, I think like that's what makes it unattractive, right? Because it's like, as men, we want to do. Like, I would love to do all of the things under the sun. You know what I mean? Like, but when somebody's entitled to it, like even when you think about like we parents, like I don't want my kids to be entitled, and these is my kids. So it's like
time is a very unattractive.
I want you to be appreciative and grateful. Let me offer. You know what I mean? It's like I don't mind doing it, but I want it to be appreciated in a way where it's like he's so thoughtful. He didn't have to do this versus it being like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. And I feel like to the point what you were saying with your female friend is like her part of the convo was more so on that's you supposed to do that. Like we dating, so you should. And it's like, ladies, let me just give y'all a word of advice. You can get anything you want out of a man if you understand that man and you learn what makes him move. Like, instead of expecting a man to put all of his energy and attention on figuring you out, which he will do if he actually fucks with you, put a little bit of energy into learning him. And you'll see the things that moves him. And when you learn what move him, you can move him all around. Like, it's so funny because and I don't know if it start with our moms or whatever, but and I don't even say our moms because that probably was the only women in our life that probably tried to tell us what to do. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, oh, if I tell him to do this, he's going, no. Like, when they say the submissive women run the men, they do because they play on the damsel in distress. Like, earlier today, my girl a few weeks ago put trash in the backyard.
Put her out there.
Raccoons, she's sitting right there, so it ain't like I'm putting her on her back. Raccoons decided to make their way into the trash, so it got all over on the backside. We have a house now. We no longer in a luxury apartment where they just come do the shit for you. So she was like, all right, I'm going to go out there and put it in a bag, and then I was going to take the trash out. So she go out there today and pick the bag up, and a bunch of worms fall out the bag.
Oh, my God.
I'm in the basement pit. I jump like, I'm thinking a raccoon out there attack her. Like I go grab my pistol. Like what the fuck is going on? It's worms out there. So I'm like, okay, all right. I say that to say it like because when I met her, she would have just did the fucking pick the worms up, and I would have been mad. Like, why the fuck is you out there picking up worms? But she realized like it's just better for me to scream. Then she looked at me and say, well, I'm a girl. What you expect? And like even like as a man, like we are okay with that. Like you know what? Because I wasn't doing nothing important. Let me stop what I'm doing and which I should have probably been doing anyway. Now I'm going to really do it. But if she would have came down there and be like, why the fuck that trash ain't picked up? Right. Not only do we have a problem here, but it's like, now it's just like, that's just not the right approach. So the best way to move a man is to submit because we want to save the day. You come to us with a problem, we want to provide you with a solution. You know what I mean? Now, it's a fine line.
Even if you don't want the solution.
I'm about to just tell you, it's a fine line, fellas. You got to understand when she's asking for a solution or when she's just venting because they don't always want a reverse perspective. But if y'all understand that we love solving problems and makes us feel appreciated, that's the feel to be. That y'all hear, men want to be needed. But not in that way. I don't need you to need me where it's like, you're powerless without me. It's just me understanding that you appreciate what I'm doing. So to tie it full circle to the whole bill pay thing, like because my girl was the only person who bills I paid that wasn't living with me. And she didn't ask me to. She didn't ask. Miss Pride wasn't going to ask. But me being the type of man I am is like, nah, like, all right, if I can help out, I'm going to help out. It started off with little things. And then, as we started the transition, it became bigger and bigger to now it's like, all right, cool. This is what we're doing. But has she been like one of these, like the women out here that's like, expecting it or feeling like, oh, like this nigga wasting my time because he not doing XYZ, we wouldn't arrive here.
Right.
So it's like, both sides of the conversation matter. Like, I feel like, yeah, if you're dealing with a man, he should be looking out for you. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just a formula to getting that done. And if you understand the formula, and different things move different men. Because I even say this to, like, I say to my baby moms, like, yo, like, all right, like, what moves me might not, like, y'all can't call and talk to me like that and think I'm going to jump through a fucking hula hoop to get some shit done. Mm-hmm. Call me with respect. Oh, but that's just how I talk. Well, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. Mm-hmm. Call me, say, hey, look, I need X, Y, and Z by X, Y, and Z. You know, if you want to end it with if you can or whatever, when it works for you, that works for me. But just trying to demand that I do something, man, my mom would tell y'all I was never the kid that was okay with just, oh, it's like, nah, like we're gonna lead with respect. Cause I'm not gonna come in there to the women and be like, oh, you gonna suck this dick, or you going, not even to make it sexual, you gonna go out with me.
Sir,
right. You know, cause you keep talking about prostitution. So
well,
like,
nigga put it on me, like,
wow, he gotta catch a strike. But all in all, I'm just saying, like, you know, it just really, that approach shit really matter. But if y'all know the man you're dealing with, you can make that nigga move a mountain for you. You know what I mean? And you ain't gotta do it with your body all the time. This ain't me telling y'all to manipulate a nigga.
But if you want to forcefully suck his dick, that also might move the man just starting out there. That's not a bad strategy at all. Like,
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I pride myself on not being controlled by sex. It's like since no, fuck that. I've probably been this way since like I can remember, because I think it was getting finessed when I was younger, like before sex was even a thing. Like I remember buying this girl a fucking skirt from Rainbow. I had $20.